Hi YouTube, it's me Free. I have been meaning to make a video for a while now regarding my weight loss surgery that I had December 6th, 2011. However, every time I have attempted to make a video, let's just say it was complete fail. um, so I had my surgery December 6th, 2011. I actually had gastric bypass, or roux-en-y. Um, and since then, a lot has changed. In these past 5 months, I have lost 79 pounds. I was originally 280 and I am now 201. And not only physically has a lot changed, but emotionally, mentally, just it's just like overwhelming sometimes because I'm like, wow. But this tool has done nothing but wonderful things for me. I mean, I know that there are people out there and they might not think the same because for whatever reason this tool hasn't worked for them, or they're just one of those people who don't agree with it and they just think in their eyes that this is the easy way out. Well, it isn't. And for those of you who think it is and don't have anything nice to say or have nothing but negative things to say, you can, or about me, my friends who support me and my decision, my friends and family, I mean, you don't like it, you don't have to watch this. And quite frankly, for those of you who won't get off my back, you can all kiss my ass. Like, I really don't give a shit. Life is too short, and I'm not going to sit here and worry about all that. It constantly comes up. It's always a hot topic. But at the end of the day, we can't persuade everyone, to change their mind. We just can't, and I'm not going to. So that's just me being blunt. If you don't like it, like I said, you don't have to stay tuned. But as I was saying, there has been lots and lots of good things that have happened. Not only have I lost 79 pounds, I am more active than I have ever been in my short 23 years of living. You might ask why I chose R&Y. Well, for me, I felt that it was the right choice for me. I was borderline diabetic. I had high blood pressure. I had high cholesterol. I had sleep apnea. I constantly had trouble breathing. I had a lot of joint problems. I had actually tore my ACL, I want to say back in 2008. And I also managed to tear my meniscus. So I had an ACL replacement, and after my ACL replacement, I put on a lot of weight. Don't ask how I tore my ACL. Long story, stupid, really. But anyway, I used to be pretty active. Now, I wasn't one of those people that were at the gym 24/7 all day, every day, but I was pretty active. I played soccer from the time I was in 3rd grade to the time, I want to say about my junior, senior year. And I was always a runner. And there were some things that changed in my life um, for the better, I feel, but that I didn't know how to quite handle. And when those things happened, I put on a large amount of weight. My husband, for those of you who don't know, is in the Air Force, and I had to transition to Hawaii. Being out there away from everyone, it was hard. And it wasn't that easy for me to just go out and meet people in a place I've never been to, and needless to say, it was just very hard for me to adjust. So like I said, I began to isolate myself. I put on a lot of weight. I had already had a son. After I had my son, I managed my weight. I didn't get much heavier or anything. But when I had my daughter, totally different story. Um, I gained a lot of weight while pregnant with my daughter, and after having my daughter, it was very hard to get rid of that weight. I tried numerous things with my husband to get rid of that weight, but it just wasn't happening. I would lose 10 pounds, I would say at the very most, and it in a matter of like weeks, it was right back on again. So there were lots of things I've tried. It didn't help at all. And for my husband being active and being in the military, it was hard to keep up. And after a while, it's like I can't do it. Like I gave up. I gave up on myself. I gave up on my health. And I began not to care, you know. And everybody um, has their own story, and I know a lot of you have been there, and you could probably relate. And it took me damn near to hit rock bottom before I realized, like, this is just not the life I want for me. This is not the life I want for my kids. This is not the wife I want to be. This is not the mother I want to be. This is not the woman I want to be. And after consulting with my doctor and looking over options, she recommended that this would be suitable. And so I looked into it, and although I was eager to hurry up and do something, I was really skeptical because, not that in a way that I thought it wouldn't work for me, I was just worried about all the other factors, like what if something happens during surgery, and what if, you know, if something did happen to me, who would take care of my kids, and would my husband be okay, and just the surgery itself, like it kind of freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. And so it took me a little bit to really figure out what it is that I wanted to do. But one day I just came down to the decision, and that if I didn't do this, you know, it's either me continuing to gain weight and do this to myself and self-destruct and completely, like, you know, completely just, you know, I don't know. I didn't like who I was, and I'm glad I did do something. Um, if I would have continued down the road that I was going on, chances are I would have became diabetic. Chances are I would have not only had a lot to face a lot more problems down the road, there's a chance I could have been facing death. I mean, that's how serious it got. And I was scared. I was scared if something was going to happen to me any day now because of the way that how far gone my breathing got, and it was just out of control. Like, I didn't know how to just get back into gear. And so I decided, am I going to sit here and keep doubting this and thinking of every bad thing that can go wrong, or am I going to sit here and get up and do something about it? You know, like, I I was given the opportunity, and I was just like, I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna run with it, and I'm gonna use this tool. I'm gonna take full on advantage, and I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight for my life. I'm gonna fight for my kids. I'm gonna fight for my husband. Like, I'm not gonna give in. Um, this Before having my surgery, I was a very outgoing person. I love to get out. I love to do things. And like I said, just a few things changed in my life, and it just seemed like I lost all sight of me. And thinking about it, it just it just freaks me out, I guess, because I'm like, how did you get there, girl? Like, what were you thinking? Like, you're so much better than that. Not to say that there's anything wrong with being overweight for those of you who are comfortable being at that weight, but for me, for the risk I was putting myself in, for not taking care of myself and letting my health get to the point that it was at just, you know, 22 years old, I was ashamed of myself. I was embarrassed even, you know, and I was just, you know, like all down and out about letting myself even get there. So it took a little bit to work myself up to um, going with surgery. But needless to say, I made the right choice. I made the right choice for me. Now, those of you thinking about getting it, I would highly recommend it if you are struggling with your weight. I'm not going to sit here and say, for those of you who are just trying something, go and do it. Because I do think that um, unless for whatever reason something physically might be holding you back, health issues, or you know, there's something else that you suffer from that might be holding you back, and you might not be able to just go out and try to lose weight. Understandable. But for those of you who can, I do think that it is good to at least make the effort to try and do something else first before you ultimately decide to do the surgery. And I say that because there are some people who get the surgery and they think that it is just rainbows and butterflies. I'm telling you, they just think that you don't have to put in any work. They just think it's going to melt right off. And maybe in the beginning it will. But ultimately, if you don't keep up with the things that you have to do in order to take care of yourself, you kiss that goodbye right out the window. Like it's like basically you made this leap for nothing, because it is so easy to start to put on back the weight if you don't take care of yourself. You know, this tool is not just to you know, to get and make it do all the work for you. You have to put in some kind of work, whether it's, I would say the minimum, you got to at least exercise at least 30 minutes a day, at least, just to start out. And once you feel like ready and up to it, progress. You know, challenge yourself every day. Get up and challenge yourself. It is very important to have a support system if you don't. And I say that because, you know, if it weren't for some of the people I met in the weight loss community, I don't know where I'd be. Like, there were some days I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Is this okay to eat? Like, I need recipes. Like, I mean, I'm not like a freaking gourmet chef over here. Like, I am mediocre cooker, you know? And, you know, so the things I know how to make, that's pretty much all I knew. And so when I needed recipes, when I needed advice, if there were other people going through the same thing I was going through, and just, you know, it was awesome to just be able to have that, you know, support standing behind you. I had friends and family who, you know, were all for it and very supportive and very motivating, but, and I appreciate that a lot. But there was, you know, it's different from people in the weight loss community, because for those who've already had it, they know what you're going through. And whenever you can't, you know, necessarily consult your doctor right away, or maybe it's something more personal that you might not want to talk with them, it's good to have that. It's good to have somebody to reach out to and be able to answer your questions and give you that kind of advice and feedback. Me personally, I look to YouTube a lot before having my surgery, because even after having my surgery, because it's good, it's very informative. A lot of there was a lot of things that, you know, maybe I didn't feel like my doctor can answer for me, not because he didn't know what he was talking about, not at all. My Dr. Grief is awesome. But when I say that, it's just different from asking someone who's already been there, rather than who's done this procedure hundreds of times, who's actually been in my shoes. So that was awesome. It's been awesome. So you got to have a support group. I mean, a support system, sorry. To, you know, just to have people to rely on. You don't want to go in this alone. You want to go in this 100% sure it's what you want to do, because it's a lifetime commitment. And although you have these people who are supporting you, friends, family, co-workers, whether it be support group, people from the weight loss community, friends on Facebook, whatever, they're not the people who are going to get up every morning and make you exercise, or every night, or who are going to shove those vitamins down your throat, or going to make sure you're hydrated or eating the right things. Now, this is not a diet. It's a lifetime commitment, and if it's what you want to do, be sure that you push yourself. you know, that you push yourself every morning when you get up, that you know, you set goals and that you ultimately get to where you want to get to. I can't tell you enough how much love and support I've gotten. I appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, get back to me. I will be posting some more videos. I'm trying to cut this a little bit short. Not sure if at any point when this